This is a complicated issue. There's no singular solution to how we deal with the kinds of things that happened up in Newtown or in Colorado or just the general gun violence that exists in America today. I committed to him I'd have these recommendations to him by Tuesday. It doesn't mean it's the end of the discussion, but the public wants us to act.
Look, the country is split in many ways on these issues, but I think in the end what Mara is saying is correct. It's not going to make much difference. I'd be impolite and say that these measures are placebos. As a doctor, I didn't actually disdain placebos. It doesn't hurt anybody, and you feel better. And, you know, it's cheap, and it's a sugar pill. Look, we had a fairly restrictive assault weapons ban in the mid-'90s. It lasted 10 years, and it had almost zero effect on the violence, gun violence. And these measures will have zero effect on the massacres as we saw in Aurora or Tucson. And people will have the feeling they have done something. But here is the reason why the ban failed in the mid-'90s. It wasn't all the loopholes and the ways to get around the law. The fact is there are 300 million guns in America today. Unless you take them away, which you can't under our Constitution, the Second Amendment, you can prevent the new sales or imports or whatever. They will be around for 100 years. Therefore, you get no essential result when you do the bans, unless you want to repeal the Second Amendment. That, I think, is the stark truth. If we had an honest debate, the gun control advocates would say repeal the Second Amendment, and we'd have a debate on that. But we can't have an honest debate because you get nowhere in arguing to have a repeal of the Second Amendment. So we have arguments about placebos.
What we need to do is change the way in which people think about guns, especially young people, and make it something that's not cool, that it's not acceptable, it's not hip to carry a gun anymore. In the way in which we've changed our attitudes about cigarettes. You know, when I was growing up, people smoked all the time. I mean, both my parents did. But over time, we changed the way in which people thought about smoking, and so now we have people who cower outside of buildings and kind of smoke in private and don't want to admit it.
If the Attorney General brings it up, Washington isn't a maker of culture. Hollywood is. You've got, what, Saw 9 in 3D
Well, he met
now?
with them today.
He met with them. Is it going to have any effect? As you heard a critical word, Tarantino's latest movie, which is knee-deep in blood, was today nominated for Academy Award. There is no shame in Washington. Let's hear one word from this administration about the source of the culture of guns.
This has been a Sunfish production.